Welcome to another episode of the Rhythm of the Road podcast. This podcast is not just about the journey, but also about the growth, transformation, and self-discovery that comes with life on the proverbial road. Grab a cup of joe, buckle up, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Let's get rolling.
Hey, happy Tuesday morning, everybody. And if you're not listening to this on Tuesday morning, you're listening to it on some other day ending in Y. That's totally cool too. But I'm pretty sure this episode is dropping the day after tax day. And that might be a favorite day or a joyous day or a heartache of a day for some of you. Regardless, it doesn't matter. We're here to talk about tools today. And what kind of tools am I talking about? I'm talking about the tools that get the job done. So often we get in these discussions of like, do I use this tool or that tool? Do I drive this kind of car? Do I drive that kind of car? What's my favorite brand of this? What's my favorite brand of that? Which guitar do I play? Do I play that one or do I play that one? It doesn't matter. What really matters is what's going to get the job done. What's the right tool for you? And I was having this discussion with a co-writer of mine last week, and we were talking about this idea of people fighting, and maybe fighting is a strong word, but having discussions about which digital workstation that they're using to create audio. And most of that's like production music and recording in the studio and all of that. And two of the biggest players or biggest tools in the industry are Pro Tools, which has been a long-standing industry standard for so many professional studios, and Logic Pro, which has become upcoming and was really huge for production and MIDI stuff for a long time, and now has kind of come full circle to add in a lot more robust audio-driven tools for anybody wanting to build any sort of track for anything that they want to do, whether it's a songwriter or producing artists or production music or film score composers. Many people are using both of these tools. And I can kind of speak to it from both because I spent about 15 years using Pro Tools exclusively. So I knew it really well. I could do all the things. I knew all the shortcuts. I could run through it with just ease. But then they switched how they were delivering their tool to consumers, and it wasn't a great fit for me anymore. And I switched platforms that I was working on. I used to be working on a PC, and well, now I exclusively work on Mac and Apple products, which I'm beyond grateful for, and I highly recommend. It's made my life easier on so many fronts. But in that space, though I could still use Pro Tools, many of the things that I was doing were production based or MIDI based. And without getting technical into the audio world, it was much easier to do on Logic. It was as simple as drag and drop, or as simple as like click, point, do. And so it could execute faster. My time was more efficient. I could be more creative because I wasn't getting stuck in these like, what do I do next? Or how do I find this thing? Or where do I even go to figure out how to do this? So it eliminated all those things so I could get the job done. So instead of taking 5, 6, 7 hours to create a track, I could do one in just like under a couple hours. I think the fastest one I ever did was about 35 minutes. That definitely got the job done. And that track still makes me money today. It's made me thousands of dollars, which is super cool on something you did one time in 35 minutes and it's just out there. So it's really about getting that job done. And so often I think we find ourselves in these ruts of like trying to either debate which tool is better or worse. I think what makes a tool better is, does it work for you? Is it easy for the user, the end user? In this case, was Logic easier for me for the job I was trying to execute? Now, as I've grown as a producer and a recording engineer, I've discovered that there are a lot more robust tools inside of Logic, and it's continued to grow as a tool and put more things inside of there that honestly just continue to make my life easier all of the time. Not only is it easier to do things, it's easier on my system, so it's less taxing. So things takes less time. My system and my hardware are running more efficient. I'm running more efficient. Like, isn't that like a business owner's dream, to run more efficient, be more creative, finish things faster, and still produce a super high quality product? I'm pretty sure that's business 101 about making sure you're delivering for your clients and delivering for your business. And so I just want you to think about, like, what things are you using in that today? Like, if you're in the construction world, does it matter like if you're using a DeWalt tool or a Milwaukee tool? Now, it might matter if you're using a small convenience store special tool, but in the construction world, we call those one job uses, which means we're going to use it for one project and that's it. So it's like a consumable product almost. So I also think about it in that sense. Like, what do you need for the job? What gets it done? If I need one tool for one job for one thing, I don't know that I want it hanging around in my house or my garage forever anyway. So that might be the right tool to get the job done. So part of it is like thinking backward, work in reverse. What are you trying to accomplish? What's the easiest, most efficient way to get there so that you can produce the best product, create the best end result for whatever it is you're trying to get done? So think about that today, and think about what are some things that you're doing on a regular basis where maybe you're like getting in even a brain or a mental fog about what you could or should be doing. Should, like, it's a terrible word, don't should on yourself, right? So think about that this week. Think about things that you could be doing to be more efficient. What tools could you get rid of? We don't need them all. What tools could you be using more efficient, even if you spent just a little bit of time educating or learning or finding a resource to dive that little bit deeper? It might make you more efficient. And it's that idea of slowing down to speed up. Just slow down for half a second, and then you will go faster because you're going to work more efficient. It's going to be faster, and you're not going to be bogged down by learning and trying to retain things, because you can just go. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you're watching online on YouTube, thank you so much for being a subscriber. We're approaching a 1,000 subscriber milestone. So hitting some really great milestones here in the last 30 days. So I want to thank you for investing your time. Thank you for continuing to come back to watch and listen. If you're listening on audio, make sure to come on over to the YouTube page, Rhythm of the Road Podcast, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell button so you make sure that you're getting the videos every time that they drop. And if you're listening on audio, please do me a favor, leave a review on whichever platform you are on, because it makes it show up higher in their results and more people are able to reach and find this message and be able to also provide and get some benefit from it. If you have any other tool discussions, put them in the comments below, because I'm curious. I'm always interested, and maybe you'll find those tool comments on a future episode. Thank you again. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for cruising with me on this episode of Rhythm of the Road. Remember, the journey itself is the destination. Until next time, keep the rhythm flowing, and we'll see you down the road.